Welcome to the Libra Love Lounge, the show where I read posts on Reddit and give them relationship advice. My name is Eliana Camargo, and I just dyed my hair for the first time in like over a decade, and I'm very excited about it. But let's jump into the first post. I, 32 male, have a 100% rejection rate with women. Okay, I don't even know where to begin. I know my situation is rare, but it's true. I don't think it's that rare. I'm seeing all these Reddit posts. For people on Reddit, I don't think it's that rare. I just turned 32 in September and never had a girlfriend before, not even close. In fact, I struggled to even get a single solitary date with a woman of mutual interest. I think my last date was 10 months ago from Hinge. I can't remember the last one before that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not some bum living in my mom's basement. I feel like I've been able to cultivate a good life for myself. Landed a stable blue-collar job in sales, nice car, live by myself, and have a rescue cat. I work out at the gym 3 to 4 days a week, have a plethora of hobbies like rock climbing, hiking, paddleboarding, video games / streaming, have done a bit of traveling on my own, and even recently picked up salsa dancing and yoga. Salsa dancing is a great place to meet people, by the way. I feel like so far he's on a good path, but we gotta figure out what the issue is here. I feel like on paper, I'd make a great partner in the sense that I'm caring, compassionate, intelligent, emotionally stable, family-oriented, love to laugh / be witty, and know how to communicate. I'm curious if his friends would describe him the same way. I'm even a great cook and currently in the process of writing an amateur cookbook. I'm basically the Black Mrs. Doubtfire over here. Despite all my great qualities though, I remain completely invisible to women, especially women I'm interested in. I'm not going after Instagram models or conventionally attractive hot girls, just cute / average women of any race. I literally have 100% rejection rate, and that's not even hyperbole, I mean it. Every woman I've ever asked out in person before has rejected me. Well, he did get a Hinge date, so I know he said he's been rejected in person. At least there's the dating apps. You know, you gotta focus on the positive sometimes. I know we're trying to fix the problem. Cut that last sentence out. My brain's going. Over the last 6 or 7 years, I've been trying to put myself out there. I've tried basically everything: joining activities, hiking groups, meetup events, single events, board game nights, going out to bars with friends, dance classes, the cold approach, leaving my number on waitresses' receipts, using the dating apps, and even asking friends of friends if they know anyone they could set me up with. It kind of sounds like he's really desperate, which, you know, makes sense. He hasn't had a relationship in 32 years. If he wants one, it makes sense that he would kind of be a little bit in that desperate energy, but that desperate energy can really repel people. It's great that he's putting himself out there and he's working on himself, he's being social. If he's being social with the intent of like, I need to find a girlfriend, that can really repel people. So that might be part of the issue. Also, I'm really curious about his personality, that like maybe he's just like awkward or weird or like off-putting or like creepy in some kind of way. We don't know from just reading this. So all of that and not a single date. Needless to say, I did manage to make a few friends here or there, but that's about it. No romantic interests. How can I ever hope to build towards a healthy, lasting relationship if I can't even do the most basic entry-level part of dating and find single woman attracted to me back? Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind for people is that there must be something wrong with this guy, or he's doing something to turn women off. But the truth is, I'm just a normal guy. Totally, I believe you. I don't have autism, I'm not socially awkward or have a high-pitched voice, don't smoke or do drugs. I actually think I'm pretty handsome and fun dude to be around. I'm 5'7", which I guess probably has a lot to do with my failures on apps. I live for guys that are short. Not every woman is like, you have to be 6 foot and taller to match with me. I'm one of the women that I'm like, please be 6 foot and under. Even 6 feet is like a little bit too tall for me. Yes, there might be a large percentage of women who specifically want someone who's tall, but you can't have that limiting belief that because you're shorter than average, that automatically it's gonna mean that you're not gonna find somebody, because there's plenty, like look around the world, there's plenty of guys who are 5'7" or shorter and are in relationships. So don't let those limiting beliefs taint your mind. But what about in person, where personality is supposed to outshine? Well, maybe there is something to do with your personality that needs work. I look in the mirror every day and go, damn, you're really freaking handsome, man. I love that. I love the self-love and the confidence. Even my own therapist thinks I'm a catch and feels I've had 1 in a million unbelievably bad luck. I'm just sick to my stomach and tired of being alone. All I want to know is what it feels like to be wanted. Someone to cuddle and do fun things with and enjoy each other's company. Why is that so hard? Why doesn't anyone want to get to know me? What am I doing wrong? Never get a wink, a wave, smile, nothing. Maybe it's my race, my shorter height, or my location. It's none of those things, I can promise you. But regardless, women look at me like a fucking cockroach, and I just can't take this anymore. Loneliness is one of the worst, unimaginable pains I've ever felt, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Oh, I'm sorry that you're so lonely and that this is so painful for you. I believe that all things can turn around, that things can change. I have many thoughts, because it sounds like you're working really hard on improving your life, on being a desirable person, going out and meeting people. You're doing all the things. I'm curious what your dating profile looks like, because that would be a good place to start, which I believe, based off the comments that I was scrolling through, if we go to his profile, we can actually see a little bit of that. So let's pull up his dating profile and see if there's any recommendations that I have there. Well, first of all, I don't know, can I show these pictures on the YouTube video of his dating profile? Would that be weird? I don't know, it's public information on the internet, so I feel like it'll be fun. It's kind of relevant to the story, so I think I'm gonna do it anyway. But if you're watching this, Larry, I apologize if this is weird, but you're cute, and so it's fine because I gave you a compliment, so hopefully you don't find it weird. Okay, so he is really cute. He's not lying about that. He is good looking. His first photo seems really good. The first prompt, someone I can send memes to, be goofy and laugh with, let's hit the gym, go on a hike, or check out some new restaurants. I love sarcasm, but also know how to have good conversation. Not bad. It's a little basic. It'd be more fun if you could get like a little bit deeper into like specifics about your interests and things like that, but like not bad at all. Favorite memory of mine, him with a glass of wine, he's looking cute. How history will remember me. He's in some shark jaws, being a little silly, I guess, showing that he's not just like a stoic dude, you know. Rock climbing, he has a great body. You should leave a comment if you enjoy equal parts staying inside, binging shows, and going out and exploring to try new things. He's a balanced kind of guy. Not too hard on partying every weekend, but not too much of a homebody. Showing him hiking, again, looking cute. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with his profile. I think it could be a little bit more personable, like a little bit more diving into like his specific interests or like the things that make him unique. He's kind of an average looking, attractive guy, so that's no comments there on like he needs to change the appearance or anything. Dating apps are hard though, and especially I hear for dudes, dating apps are even harder. But Eliana from the future, just after filming this, I noticed something from his Hinge profile that I didn't realize before because the picture was minimized. But when you expand it and see the full picture, I completely missed something on his dating profile that is probably the huge reason why he's not getting matches. I figured out what's wrong. It says, I'm looking for an FWB, future wife and best friend. FWB stands for friends with benefits. So it sounds like he's making a cheeky joke where he's like, I'm looking for friends with benefits, or I'm looking for an FWB, future wife and best friend. Like, it's weird. It's very unclear. Like, it sounds like he's trying to be funny and cute and making like a little joke, but like that's not funny and cute, and it's confusing, and it shows that like you're kind of giving off fuckboy vibes where you're gonna be the type of person that's like, I'm gonna make you think that I want a serious relationship, but really I'm just here to use your body. So change that immediately if that's not what you're looking for. If you really are looking for a future wife and best friend, yeah, say I'm looking for something serious. A lot of women will appreciate the forwardness and the honesty. Joking and saying you're looking for an FWB. No. If that's not what you're looking for, sir, then get rid of that. Get rid of that right now. That's the issue here. Get rid of that joke. It's not cool. It's not funny. That is the issue, but also the other stuff the other advice that I give right after this is also very applicable to the people that you meet in real life. Let's roll it back to Eliana from the past giving my original advice. What I'm gonna suggest here is two things. One, ask your friends. If you have any friends that are like brutally honest and will really tell you how it is, ask them what you think you need to work on. Like maybe there is something to do with your personality or the way you speak or the way you come across to people that you might want to work on. And I think there's even like dating coaches out there who will like really be, if you want to invest the money into it, if you're really that serious, who will like really give you tips on like how you're communicating and how you can kind of like come across and present yourself differently, which can sometimes be kind of like a little bit of a mind fuck that you're like, well, I want to be myself. I want to be authentic. Sometimes we learn bad habits about like how our first impressions are. And so it can be useful where in the beginning it might feel like you're acting, but eventually it just like becomes your new personality and you've just like up-leveled yourself. So that's always an option. See what's going on there. But my main advice here, this all comes down to the law of attraction, that if you're in an energy where you're feeling lonely, he said, I never get a wink, a smile, nothing. He says, I'm sick to my stomach and tired of being alone. All I want to know is what it feels like to be wanted. Someone to cuddle and do fun things with and enjoy each other's company. Why is that so hard? Why doesn't anyone want to get to know me? What am I doing wrong? That energy is, it's very understandable, being 32 years old and never having had a girlfriend. You attract the energy that you put out there. 3D world that's around us is all just a direct mirror of our beliefs and of our energy, of our emotional state. And so if you're in an emotional state of feeling incredibly lonely, of being, I just want to know what it feels like to be wanted, all you're going to attract is more wanting to know how it feels to be wanted. My advice is to study the law of attraction and understand like truly how it works, because if you're not aware, the law of attraction goes so deep, and when you really learn about the principles of it and put it into action, you'll see how fucking true it is and how much energy dynamics and the energetic state you're in impacts how people treat you and the kinds of people that come into your life, how desirable you are. If you want to attract a relationship into your life or attention from people, get into an energetic state where you feel like you're in a relationship. Like if you hold this belief that I'm not going to be happy until I get into a relationship, you're forever going to be pushing that relationship away, because you have to be happy right now, right here. And so you want to do something that's called living in the end, which is where you kind of walk around your everyday life feeling the emotions as if you already have your desire. So already feeling like you're in a relationship. And this is not the same as like deluding yourself to convince yourself that you're in a relationship and your girlfriend's just like at the store or something. Not that. It's walking around with the emotions that you would feel as if you were in a relationship. So feeling wanted, feeling desired, feeling loved, feeling cherished, adored, all those beautiful emotions, which if you've never felt that way by somebody before, it can be a little bit hard to conjure up those emotions when you feel so lonely. So there's a lot of meditations on YouTube, completely free, kind of guide you through the process of living in the end and conjuring up those emotions so they can help you get into that energetic state of feeling like you already have that with you. Through practice, every single day, anytime you feel lonely, you can validate the emotion, journal about it, do some shadow work to figure out like where this is coming from. Oftentimes it stems from our parents and our upraising. So going to therapy and kind of unpacking some of that will help purge the negative emotions. And then once the negative emotions are purged, then you kind of flip that and raise your vibration into feeling wanted and desired and visualizing what it would be like to be with somebody, just holding those emotions in your body all day, walking around the world, feeling as if you're loved, feeling as if you're desired. And then you will see how crazy it is that the 3D reality shifts and people start giving you attention and women will ask you out on dates. It's such a powerful thing. It's been life-changing for me personally, utilizing these principles. It's not like foolproof, like overnight, you're just gonna get into this energetic state and then you'll get into a relationship the next day. It can be a long process and you'll be triggered through it. There's gonna be ups and downs. You're not gonna be able to hold this energetic state all day, every day for months. You're gonna have ups and downs. Things are going to trigger you, because when you're triggered, that allows you to purge those negative emotions and heal. You might, probably most likely, will be going on dates with people and then it won't end up turning into a relationship, and then you'll feel lonely again and triggered. And through going through all these hurdles, it's getting you to the place that you need to be so that you can finally be in energetic alignment with an actual relationship. That's my advice to him is, for example, the title, I have a 100% rejection rate with women. If you really rack your brain and think, he had a hinge date 10 months ago. So that's not an 100% rejection rate. He went on a date and, even if the date didn't lead anywhere, he still got a first date. And I'm sure there's probably been other first dates that he's been on. So focus on the positives, focus on the times where you were successful. That kind of helps fuel the belief of like, okay, this is possible. I've done this before. I can go on more dates again. Getting out of that desperate energy too, because when you're very anxiously attached and you're really desperate for love and desperate for a relationship, again, that just repels people. You, again, have to become super happy in the present moment with the life that you have. Hold the emotions as if you already have a relationship. And so then you're not so desperate for someone to feel that role because you're already feeling it yourself. That's my advice for him, because everything else, like, he's cute. He seems like he's got his stuff together, barring, if his personality, gotta talk to some honest friends to see like if there's any work you could do there. But it really does come down to like, it's magical, honestly, when you utilize these principles and like really, really put them into effect. You'll see how people start treating you differently. It's wild. All right, moving on. Next post. After I, 13 female, told him my feelings, he, 14 male, said he loves me, but then ghosts me. Okay, this will be a fun one of high school romance. Let's see what's going on here. This post is more so about my confusion on whether he wants to date me or not, rather than about dating itself. I've liked this guy in school for a couple months now. We were never friends because he's popular and I'm not. So we barely talk to each other, but I really like him. Not only because he's very cute and tall, but also because unlike many popular guys at school, he never trash talk any girls. So I thought I should ask him out so that we either be a thing, or I learned that it's a one-sided crush through his rejection. I already like her mindset where she's like, I'm okay if it's a one-sided thing. I'm assuming where she's going with that is so she can then move on. Love that for her. So I told him in person, in private, that I have a crush on him. However, instead of getting a rejection, he said he needed time to think about the reply. So the next day, he came to me and immediately told me he loves me, which honestly kind of surprises me as I didn't expect him to be in love with me. So I was happy hearing it. It surprises me too, like he needed time to think about it. Y'all haven't ever really spoken before and now he's in love with you? Like that's a major red flag. I'm curious where he's going with that. What's going on in his head? However, he did so at a public setting in school in front of his friends. And after he said that to me, they were all laughing. And then he leaves the class with them immediately afterwards without any follow-up. Okay, no, this is bullshit. Was he just fucking with you? And oh, girl, that hurts my heart for you. He told you he loved you and then his friends laughed and then he immediately walked away. He was dared to do that. They're fucking with you and that's cruel. That is cruel as fuck. Oh my God. So I'm left confused now. I tried talking to him, but he ignores me. Ugh. Or most of the time, it will be his friends seeing me coming over to him and getting in my way and won't let me get to him by saying he's busy. Oh my God. I hate these people. You said he's a good guy and that's why you liked him. Well, he's clearly not actually a good guy. I try to communicate one-on-one with him in person, in private, but he avoids me any chance he gets. However, he still keeps eye flirting with me across the classroom every class. He's just trying to get attention from you. He wants validation. He wants to keep you on the hook and he's eyeing you because he's just like, hey, that chick likes me. Let me feed off that energy like a little vampire. I decided I wanted clear answers, and since in-person communication is not possible, I tried to follow him on his Instagram so that I could DM him. He neither accepted nor rejected the follow. So I thought he doesn't use his Instagram. So I tried following his other socials and he still neither accepts nor rejects the follows. He's thinking that you're all desperate now. Oh gosh. So I decided to just DM him on all his socials and see which account he uses. Oh girl. I love the logic. This is a learning lesson. Not do that. Just don't do that. I only DM hi in order to start a conversation. I hate when people start a conversation with just hey or hi. Like, tell me why you're messaging me. Let's expedite this a little bit. A few days afterwards, he opened them and left them unseen. So now I'm really confused. What's going on? Did I do something wrong? Does he still love me? Oh, honey, he never loved you. I'm so sorry to tell you that. His friends dared him to say that to you because they're fucking assholes. They're complete dicks. You should have gotten the hint already when he like walked away immediately afterwards and then his friends get in the way when you're trying to talk to him and he's avoiding you, that he doesn't want to talk. And so you probably shouldn't have been trying to message him on top of that. And then when you did message him and he read the message but left you unread, that's a clear sign that he does not want to talk. And I'm really, really sorry that these people are such assholes. Let this be a learning lesson. You know, this will definitely help you get over your crush because you liked him because you thought that he was nice to girls, but he's clearly not. He's not any different than any of the other popular guys at your school. Please stop giving him attention. Please stop looking at him. Don't let him give you the little flirty eyes. He's just doing that for validation because he knows that you like him. Just cut him off. Cut him out of your life. Don't interact with him. Hopefully, you said that you haven't really talked to him much before, so hopefully you don't have to be interacting too much like in class or anything like that. But just ignore him. And if he ever acknowledges your presence, just be like, oh, just like stone cold, like, oh. Don't let him see any emotion. Just be stoic so that he stops getting any kind of validation from you. Luckily, I was gonna say luckily men get better the older you get. This is not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true, but typically men aren't dared by their friends to tell you that they love you and then ghost you. So it does get better than that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I give you all the luck, all the love, all the luck that things will get better from here. But don't let this dude get you down. You deserve so much better. All right, next post. What does this text chain mean? Should I get over him? Okay, so I've been talking to this guy for a little while and everything has been fun. We haven't slept together. It's been mostly touching and stuff. Well, we kind of mentioned that we should hang out tomorrow, but that was a few days ago. So I messaged him asking if he was still free. And this is how the messages went. Me, so you're still free on the 12th, right? Him, I might have a plan on the 12th. Me, so no? Him, unless you're busy. Me, I hate texting. Are you saying you made other plans and can't hang? Or are you saying that you've plans for us? LMFAO. And then he just laughed at that message and hasn't responded yet. It's been a few hours. Okay. Should I just take the loss and let go? I was planning on making tomorrow the first night we had sex, but if y'all think he's blowing me off, then I'ma just let him go. Thank you. Yeah, that is annoying and confusing and frustrating and is so confusing sometimes because miscommunications are so easy. Is there just like a miscommunication here, or is he just being a dick and trying to like string you along and not being clear about what the fuck's going on? But the fact that he said, unless you're busy, it sounds like he's saying, yeah, we're still on for the 12th unless you're busy. But it is weird that when you clarified, like, I hate texting, are you saying you made other plans or that you can't hang because that you made other plans, or that you made plans for us? And then he just laugh reacted. It's a little bit weird, but I could see a world where he's also confused and he like misread it, or he's just like, sometimes people are just like not on the same page and their brains are a little bit doing weird things and they just like glaze over the text and they're confused too. And so he's just like, oh, haha, yeah, maybe he's thinking the same thing that you're thinking, where he's like, is she bailing on me? I wouldn't say this is like a complete like cut that dick off. Oh my god. Like, cut that dude off, he's being a dick, and then I realized what cut that dick off sounds like. That's really bad. I didn't mean for those words to come out of my mouth. I don't think this is a complete just cut that dude off. Oh my god. I hate that came out of my mouth. But like, also, why is he not responding? I mean, maybe I would kind of double message him and say something kind of cheeky and be like, well, then that wouldn't work. I was gonna say you should say something like, okay, so we're gonna meet here at this time. Be there or be square. And then see how he responds to that. If he's like, cool, got it. Or if he just leaves you on red again or whatever. But he's saying that I might have a plan. So then you could ask him what his plan is for us. This one's tricky. Like, why is he just not responding? I would just message him and be like, okay, so what time are we meeting? And then that'll give you a clear answer. If he's like, no, you dumb bitch, I said I have a plan, I'm busy already, I'm not seeing you. And then in that case, be like, bruh, boy, bye. You said you wanted to hang out and now you're making double plans. I don't need that kind of flakiness in my life. But then if he responds positively, yeah, that's what I would do, is just be like, okay, so what time? And see how he goes from there. Because this is a little bit weird, but sometimes texting can result in miscommunications and just general weirdness. Let's see what the comments have to say. I can't tell for sure. I don't know the details of your relationship with him, but I think you should wait a little to see his intentions, whether he's taking this seriously or not. Not saying to his words on a planned date is a serious red flag in my opinion. If you're looking for something serious, then I'd say let him go, because you'd want your potential future boyfriend to be better at communicating. If it's just hooking up, then don't worry about that. It's unfortunately how hookups go. They're not super reliable because they don't need to be. If he wants to see you, he will. That's also a great point. If he wants to see you, he will. If he's really serious about you, he'll be serious about trying to make plans with you. So that's great advice. Third comment says, I would say, so what time do you want to meet on Sunday? Let him explain that what he meant, and then you can decide. If it's just not clear, if he was being coy or actually has new plans. Exactly. That's my advice. And then go from there and keep an eye on things. All right, next post. Going on my first ever date and I'm super nervous. Going on to first ever date tomorrow and I'm super nervous. Any advice? He's super sweet, so I doubt he'd think any less of me, but I don't want to be a bubbling mess tomorrow. Ooh, this is so exciting. Your first date ever. I have been on many a first date. I have all the tips. My first one is try to just see him as a friend. Like, don't get super in your head of like, oh my god, I'm going on a date. This is a romantic interest. Is this gonna be the love of my life? Are we gonna get married one day? Like, just don't entertain those thoughts. Let them go away. And how would you act if, I don't know where you're going, if it's like to coffee or something, let's assume. How would you act if you're going to coffee with just like a girlfriend? Well, assuming that you're a girl. It could be I'm getting girl energy from this. How would you act if you're getting coffee with one of your girlfriends? Just treat him like that. Treat him like he's a friend. And like, you can be a little flirty with him because you don't want him to be like, oh, I wasn't feeling any romantic vibes. But like, you can be flirting with someone and also not super in your head of like, oh my god, this is a romantic interest. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's advanced. Maybe that's too far. The next tip is focus more on how you feel about him rather than how he feels about you. During the date or after the date, don't be all in your head of like, oh my god, like, did he like me? Was I being weird? Was I being awkward? How do you perceive me? Did I think that I said, is that gonna be a turnoff for him? Don't worry about any of that. Just focus on how he makes you feel, on how you feel about him, how things that he's telling you, if they align with something that you would want for a second date. Yeah, it's completely normal to feel nervous and anxious, especially like as you're driving up to the date and like approaching and waiting to meet up with them. Like the nerves always get the best of you. So take some deep breaths, maybe meditate before the date so it can kind of help calm and collect you. You totally got this. Totally fine. You've interacted with humans before. It's not much different. If you're someone who's a natural conversationalist, you might be in your head of like, oh my god, what are we gonna talk about? But once you're there, it'll naturally flow. But if you're someone who isn't a natural natural conversationalist, I would look up some questions to ask him beforehand, just kind of memorize, like maybe have like 3 questions just in the back of your mind that if things are kind of like there's an awkward silence or you don't know what to talk about, you can just like pull from your memory and be like, oh yeah, like, you know, the obvious ones, asking like, what do you do for a living? Or like, have you always lived in this city your whole life? Or have you moved here? Have you ever lived anywhere else? Where'd you go to college? You know, like the basic questions. Those are all just getting to know you questions, but then there can be deeper ones. Like I like asking people what's like a goal they want to achieve before they die. I think that's a fun one. Or like an aspiration that they have, or, you know, asking about their goal, their hobbies, things like that. So keep some of those questions at the back of your mind if you're not a natural conversationalist, and that'll kind of help make you feel secure so that you won't have any like awkward silences. I believe in you. Good luck. So exciting. And I hope it goes well. What the comments have to say. A bubbling mess is cute. It could be. Be like, you don't worry too much about being like nervous or awkward on the date, because sometimes that can be cute on either side, where it's like, oh, they like me so much that they're nervous. If it's already happened, I hope you had fun. Being nervous when meeting someone new is totally normal, but you should look at it as being excited in anticipation as opposed to simply nervous. This is one reason why we date, because it's exciting. You know, so many people have like manipulation rules of like, don't text this person, like wait for them to text you, or wait this long, or whatever it is. I don't think that there's any shame in texting someone after a date and being like, I had a great time, if you really did have a great time. Or you can wait to see if he texts you. Like if you're just feeling kind of on the fence about it, you could see how he feels. If the date is just like so-so on the fence, I don't think there's any harm in giving him a second chance, giving him a second date just to see, you know, because you're both gonna be super nervous. Then maybe on the second date, you'll feel a little bit more natural and get a better feel of the vibes. If after like 2 or 3 dates, you're not feeling the spark, then you don't have to keep dating someone just because you want a relationship. So my advice, just kind of naturally feel out the vibes, maybe give him a second chance if the vibes aren't there. And don't worry too much about what the future holds. That's always been a hard one for me, where I'm like, is this person going to be my future husband? Don't worry about that. Take things one date at a time and just enjoy the present moment. It can be challenging if you're a hopeless romantic, but it's definitely possible. It's definitely worth working towards. It's great to start that habit from your first date and not waiting until you're 28 years old to start doing that. Okay, so for our last post, we're gonna be reading a post on the love subreddit about a happy relationship, about romance, to raise all of our vibes and give us hope that love is real. I just feel lucky to be loved and I had to share. I just feel lucky. I got my birthday card this week, a little confused as it's next week, so I opened it up and it was very sweet and included an itinerary starting this Friday to a week from Sunday with plans and events. They're not all grandiose, apart from a dinner at my favorite restaurant and a concert. The rest are home-cooked dinners and breakfasts, which to be fair, are pretty grandiose. That is a lot. That's a lot. Like a whole birthday week. My fiance can cook. I'm not kidding when I feel safe assuming my birthday dinner will include octopus and probably a passion fruit chocolate mousse he's perfected just for me. Oh my goodness. A puff and paint that I had been wanting to go to for a long time. Times for sporting events we want to watch together, probably at home. A trip to a botanical garden we got engaged in. Oh. I'm a twin with a brother who has always outshone me. I don't really mind because I generally don't like the spotlight. Our birthday was always his birthday with me added on. Totally fine, apart from the few times my very few wants have been overshadowed due to his. That sucks. But I'm used to it and I'm generally an easygoing person, so whatever. I've never had someone put in so much thought into what I wanted, like ever, especially not a full week. I was never a stuff kind of person, so the fancy bags and stuff I've gotten before in the past always fell flat. I love the fact that most of these are at home, just relaxing and enjoying each other's company. He's not a planner and I usually am, so the fact that he took the time and made the effort means more than I can express. Oh, this is like the epitome of if he wanted to, he would. I'm not a showy emotional person, but it did make me tear up a bit. Not a throwaway and he follows me, but barely if ever read my posts, so I hope he finds this someday and realizes how much this meant to me. Oh, I hope you also tell him how much this meant to you, but that would be really cute if he stumbled upon this post and saw you gushing about your love for him to the world. And this is so sweet. Everyone deserves a romance like this and someone who goes out of their way to make you feel special and loved in the way that you feel special and loved, not just like gifts like you said that in the past you would get like bags and stuff, and that's not how you receive love. I love this post so much. And on that note, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to watch another episode of the Libra Love Lounge, you can watch it right over here. I'm sending you so much love.